I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but this obviously wasn't planned, so I don't have an organized train of thought right now. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I don't even know how to start this video. I went to bed last night and I felt fine before I went to bed, and then it seems like as soon as my eyes closed, I started feeling pains around where the cysts were. I started feeling like some menstrual cramping. And then this morning when I woke up and used the bathroom a few times, I had some brown discharge. Some of it was just when I wiped, but there was also some in the toilet. So some little clumps in the toilet. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm definitely having menstrual-like pain and all over my abdomen. I do have some localized pain to where the cyst is, but I'm in pain right now, and I wanted to wait just a little bit because I wanted to think logically and kind of go over and through the symptoms and see if it's something that could be just within the realm of norm or if I should go in. But I called my mom, who is a nurse who has worked in women's health, and after I told her everything, she was just like, if you're in any type of pain, just go in and be safe rather than sorry, because that don't sound quite like something that she could just say, okay, I think that's normal and I think you're good. So Jeremy's making me some food right now so that I can at least have something to eat in my system before I go in, and then we'll pretty much be on our way. I am going to definitely try to get them to do an ultrasound today just to make sure everything is fine, to see if I have any internal bleeding going on with that cyst. So I guess we'll see. So we're about to leave the house now, and this blood just turned to bright red. I literally felt something come down, and now I am bleeding. So we are gonna go ahead and get going to this hospital now. Say a prayer on the way. I'm trying not to panic. I'm just gonna have faith, and I'm gonna just pray at this point. That's all I can do. So we are at the hospital, and the doctors went ahead and did a pelvic exam and said that my cervix is slightly open and that I do have some bleeding in there. And then they asked if I wanted them to do an ultrasound, and I basically was like, yeah, of course. So we're pretty much just sitting here waiting on that now. They also did my blood work, although I didn't even ask him what they were checking. I'm assuming they're just checking my progesterone.
Yeah.
And my...
I think that's what she said when she came in, or the doctor said when he was in here. They were going to do your progesterone and something else. I can't remember what the other one was, but I think they were going to check your hormone levels.
Probably. I wasn't really like paying attention because the only thing I was concerned about was whether or not they were going to do an ultrasound.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But yeah, we're waiting on that. Of course, they don't seem quote unquote too concerned, but for us, it's like anything that's outside of the norm is concerning, and I wouldn't consider this normal anyway. Hey guys, and welcome back. I just wanted to go ahead and get on here real quick and let you guys know kind of what the outcome was of yesterday's ER visit. So after the ultrasound, they did both a abdominal ultrasound and a transvaginal ultrasound. When we went in, the tech was very quiet. She was very professional. And I looked over on the screen and I didn't really see much of anything going on. So I kind of had the feeling that something might be up or something like that. And afterwards, I had a little bit more bleeding because of course they're inserting a probe inside. And if you already have some bleeding, it tends to make it a little bit worse. So I had a little bit more bleeding after the transvaginal ultrasound. Me and Jeremy waited in the ER after that, probably for about an hour, for them to go over the results and review everything. And the doctor came in and basically let me know that there was no fetal pole present. The gestational sac was still there, but there was no fetus present. So I did have another miscarriage, and they basically let me know that the sac measured at 8 weeks and 2 days, and by now I should have been between 10 and 11 weeks, so about 2 weeks behind. So about 2 weeks ago, I guess, is when the fetus stopped growing, and my assumption is that my body absorbed it because I didn't have any bleeding or discharge or anything prior to yesterday. So yeah, I don't know, it was difficult. I think I was already trying to prepare myself for it when we went to the ER. So when they came in and told me, it was kind of just, I guess, more of a confirmation. And I was just hoping pretty much the whole time I was there that wouldn't be the case. Jeremy is very hurt right now. He's not the type to be outwardly upset. He only really expresses outwardly like happiness, joy, excitement, all positive emotions is what he portrays and expresses on the outside. He doesn't really express negative emotions at all, but I know my husband. He is sad right now and very disappointed and hurt by the situation. I think that he feels very helpless in it all because there's nothing for him to do, and he can't fix it, and he can't rescue me from the situation. So he's having a really hard time kind of dealing with it. After getting so excited about everything, he's definitely struggling to deal with things and to cope with things. So after we got home from the ER, we had some dinner and I was relaxing. We watched a movie, and about 3 to 4 hours after we got back, I started cramping really, really bad, like really intense toe curling. I need to like squeeze something and breathe through it kind of cramps. By 10 o'clock, the process was already starting and my body was starting to expel what I believe was the gestational sac and any remains of the pregnancy. And that was extremely painful. That's the only way I can really describe it. It is literally one of the worst pains that you could feel. It's worse than breaking bones. Yeah, I can't even really describe it. It's beyond cramping. It's like a wave of just unbearable pain kind of just comes over you. I couldn't really talk. Jeremy was trying to ask me, did he need me to do something or get me something? And I was in so much pain, I couldn't even respond to him until it kind of passed. TMI, I passed a lot of tissue, probably, I would say about 5 tennis balls worth of tissue. And I don't know if that was just all the sac tissue or stuff that was also left over from the cyst, because that was another thing. On the ultrasound, tech said she didn't even see the cyst anymore. So they're thinking that the cyst may have ruptured. That may have just triggered my body to start expelling what was left over from the pregnancy. But yeah, that's where we're at. Now I just have some light bleeding, which I think is just pretty much my uterus expelling leftover blood at this point. I did get in for an impromptu appointment with my original doctor today, and he went ahead and did another pelvic exam on me, asked me some questions. Yesterday, I let him know that my cervix was partially open. Today, he basically said, I don't see any tissue or anything like that kind of lingering in there. It seems that the bleeding has stopped. You'll just have that residual kind of whatever is left over and needs to make an exit will make an exit. He also let me know, of course, no sex. I don't know who would want to have sex at this point. I definitely don't. but he informed me of that and told me that if I have any heavy bleeding to come into the emergency room. So for right now, he is asking for me to come back tomorrow. I am going to get an ultrasound, another ultrasound done tomorrow. So I'll go see a radiologist in the morning to get an ultrasound done, and then I will go see my doctor in the afternoon, and we will be able to talk about just making sure that everything is actually out and that I have no hemorrhaging or internal bleeding or anything else going on. They just want to check me out and make sure there's no other causes for concern, and we will more than likely talk about where to go from here. I didn't really ask a whole lot of questions today. I was just kind of trying to get a handle on what was the game plan and what was going to be able to get me in fastest for getting an appointment and getting the ultrasound, just to check on things. I am going to take some time tonight and write down some questions that I may have so I don't forget anything. I called my mom. I told you guys I called my mom. So she pretty much knew everything that was going on. She pretty much got up-to-date text messages to kind of stay in the loop. So her and my dad kind of know what's going on, and they're pretty sad and disappointed and more than anything worried about me. I'm the baby, so they're definitely worried about me. I also told my sister-in-law because me and her had plans today, and I still met her, but I just wanted to let her know what was going on because I was considering canceling my plans, but I figured I shouldn't cancel my plans. I should just get out of the house because it's what's going to be best for me. If I feel physically up to leaving the house, I think that would be best versus me staying at home by myself. So I told her Jeremy is probably going to call his mom if he hasn't already and talk to her today, and I'm going to go ahead and call my sister today and let her know, and I'm also going to let my friend Danny know. So I kind of just want everyone to know around the same time, within the same few days, just so that I can get that piece of it kind of over with and just kind of move on to processing everything and coping with it. I really don't know how Jeremy is gonna cope with it. I am hoping for the best. I do have a therapy session in place. I am doing a lot better this morning than I was last night. I know I seem I have a very calm demeanor right now. I know the tears are gonna come at some point. I am pretty sad about it. It's just part of me is still a little bit in shock and a little bit numb right now, so I'm kind of waiting to get past that portion of it. I'm also kind of angry because my new OB that I went to see not even a week ago, she basically only did an intake appointment, asked me a bunch of questions, and I expressed multiple times that I had concerns about this pregnancy considering my history, and she basically told me that, oh, if you don't have any symptoms, then you don't have any reason to worry. And it's obvious that that is not the case. I was very asymptomatic in this case, because had I not been, I would have known this information close to 2 weeks ago at this point. That part really pissed me off and just made me angry. I'm definitely not going to let that go quietly. That we'll just leave it at there. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm angry at just the medical care that I have received, not by the doctor that I'm going to see tomorrow. He's awesome, but he doesn't oversee OB care throughout pregnancy. It's like really much just in the beginning stages and just if you have any additional issues when you find out. And he is really just an amazing doctor. The OB I was referred to, on the other hand, and her medical staff, I did not receive good treatment from them, and I don't think they took my situation and my case as seriously as they needed to. So I am very angry with that right now. Granted, it may have not changed the outcome of anything, but you never know. And I believe that people should just, especially when you are in the healthcare field, you have to have a certain kind of bedside manner, and you need to have a certain level of empathy and compassion, and just be able to humble yourself and listen a little bit more when patients come in and they tell you that they have a certain history and that they're asking you to be very mindful of certain things. So yeah, I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but this obviously wasn't planned, so I don't have an organized train of thought right now. But yeah, if you guys could just pray for us, that would be great. I would definitely appreciate that. I would appreciate also just anyone out there who's watching this to extend a level of sensitivity. And I only say that because sometimes I get really insensitive questions, and I know that, you know, people just sometimes want additional information. But I just ask that anyone who watches this and comments on it be respectful and just show a little bit of compassion and be very sensitive to what Jeremy and I, and our families for that matter, are going through at this time. So yeah, that's really all I have to say for the day. I hope you guys who are going through pregnancy right now, I know there is a fair number of you that have been following along our journey. I hope that you continue to have a healthy pregnancy and that you have a safe delivery and a healthy baby. And I'm still rooting for you guys. And for those of you who have recently gone through miscarriages, I am very sorry for your loss. I know that it's a difficult time. It's also a difficult time for me, and there is never one right way to get through it. So I will be praying for you as well. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.